radical. Each scenario saves a certain amount of money. The first one saves about $1 million. And in all of them, the class size increases. The first one, it would increase to 25 for K through 3. With all three scenarios, Chipman Middle School would convert to a charter school, and that process is taking place now. They've put in their petition, and they're presenting to the school board tonight, actually.
So who are the individuals proposing Chipman become a charter school?
A group of teachers and parents and some community people, as I understand. They formed a board, and they're moving ahead on that. Most of us think it's a given that will happen. And that will mean that the west end of Alameda won't have a traditional middle school anymore. We'll only have charter middle schools. In scenario 2 and 3, they propose Encinal be closed, Encinal High School, which would mean that we also wouldn't have a traditional high school anymore on the west end.
And so students who go there, are they to begin attending like Island or Base or Alameda High, or what's the plan?
Alameda High is where this plan is done by the superintendent and her staff. They're saying that Alameda High and Encinal High would merge, and that the Encinal students would go to Alameda High. There is some question about would there be enough room. They wouldn't take out-of-district students anymore, which is a really big change.
Because currently students from Oakland and other places are allowed to attend Encinal, and in some cases Alameda.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but with the first scenario, they still would take out-of-district transfers or students. In the second two, they wouldn't. So in the first one, also, they're proposing a K through 8 dual language immersion school, which would be both for English language learners and for kids who want to learn, English-speaking kids who want to learn another language. So there would be a focus on languages there.
Now, would that be for all K through 8 schools, or is there a specific site?
It'd just be one school, and they haven't determined the site. I think they're looking at 3 different sites, Washington and Lum and another one.
Okay.
And then the other main thing about this scenario is that Encinal would change into 4 academies. It wouldn't be a traditional high school anymore. It would be 4 schools within schools, and each school would have a special emphasis. One would perhaps be arts, one science and technology. They've suggested career education, or I can't remember, career development or something, and the 4th one, international baccalaureate. But these are just ideas. It's nothing. In fact, with all of these scenarios, there's nothing that's been decided.
It's all proposals.
It's all proposals, but they are being proposed by the superintendent, so we have to take them seriously.
Yeah, and so with scenario 2, I see that the class sizes, it's increased to 29 from kindergarten to 3rd grade, and also it changes the age group, so K through 6 and 7 to 9 and 10 to 12.
Right now the elementary schools in Alameda are K through 5th grade, so they changed that to K through 6th. And then middle school would change 7th grade to 9th grade, and high school 10th grade to 12th grade.
I will close the gate, the door.
Okay, yeah, you can lock the bathroom too if you don't mind.
Okay. Have a good
Thank
night.
you, Francis. Thank you, Kathy.
Like, went to school with her daughter.
Oh, yeah.
So, what's the advantage of doing that, or are there advantages to setting up the structure like that, and are there any disadvantages?
Well, the advantage would be that it would save money, and I don't know exactly how it would, but I'm assuming because, for instance, in this scenario, they're going to close Encinal and have the students go to Alameda High, it would mean less students. The 9th graders wouldn't be in the high school, so they'd have room at Alameda High for the Encinal students. So I think they've got to look at the enrollment at each school and the capacity, and then balance all that. I've gone to a lot of meetings to talk with people about this, and there are different opinions. Some people are really in favor of kindergarten through 6 together. Some are really against it. They don't want 6th graders with kindergartners.
Yeah.
Some people don't want the 9th graders in middle school, but other people think it's a good idea.
Right.
So
Now, from what I understand, that's how it used to be. As far as like when they called it junior high, still opposed to middle school, it was 10th to 12th for high school, and then maybe 6 to 9 or something like that. I don't know.
Well, somebody said the other day in Alameda, elementary school used to be K through 4th grade, and then I guess the next level was 5th through 7th or 8th. I don't know. It was different though.
How have people been reacting to the idea of Encinal closing?
On the West End, people have been reacting against it, and there's only one person I've talked with who thinks it's a good idea if the high schools merge. He thinks that they could provide better programs, and one of the arguments for merging them is that all high school students in Alameda would have access to the same AP classes. At this point, Encinal students have less AP classes and less access to them than Alameda High students. So it would equalize that opportunity. But then there are also questions about what would it do in terms of access to sports. If there's only one sports team, then fewer students get to play football or baseball or whatever. The reaction's almost consistently negative on the West End about closing Encinal.
And have you heard any gripes about maybe people from the East End concerned about people from the West End or out of district attending the same school as their children?
I've heard people say that they're concerned about the overcrowding at Alameda High, but then some of the West End parents are saying that too, that they think it would be too crowded at Alameda High. There are people who are vocal about the fact that they prefer not having out-of-district students in Alameda.
Right.
So that has come up, and then other people are defending that, saying that they want that to be the case, and that they want the diversity, and they want that to continue. But in these scenarios, the first one is the only one where that
is allowed.
Would happen. Yeah.
And then the third scenario. Well, actually, one thing I just want to understand. So the class size, it's up to a certain level, right? What is the current maximum?
Right now, K through 3 is 20 students.
Okay.
And so in the first and the second scenario here, they're talking about K through 3. But in the third one, I think that they're saying all levels, no matter what grade it is, could go up to 32 or over.
Wow.
Because they don't specify K through 3 in that